This case is known for being a crime of passion. Investigators had no doubt that Orsolya Gaal was murdered in such a way that only a loved one could do. So, it is natural for the prime suspect to be her husband, but at the time of the crime, he was out of town with his son hunting for college. Hi there, we're Unsolved Cases and we cover unsolved crime stories from all around the world. If you like this type of content, then consider subscribing to our channel as we bring never seen before crime stories to you. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new episode. This is the tragic case of Orsolya Gaal. The Forest Hills in Queens is considered as one of the most tranquil neighborhoods. Glenn, a seemingly old man taking his dog out for a walk, came across a suspicious bag. It was normal for people to throw garbage in that area, but this one in particular felt very odd to Glenn. His dog became agitated and started barking and pacing towards the bag, and Glenn noticed something very alarming. The Boer bag was leaking blood. At first glance, he thought it was a dead animal. He gently nudged the bag with his foot, but it was heavy. He had his fair share of dead animals in the area, and so thinking it was the same, he opened the bag. When he witnessed two pale bare feet, he was taken aback. Further opening the bag, wondered if it was a crash test dummy, but as he went further in, he realized that it was the remains of a female stuffed into the Boer bag in a fetal position. Imagine being the first one to discover the remains of a person early in the morning. Glenn found the body and dialed 911 at 8 a.m. Soon, the NYPD blocked the perimeter and began investigating the body. The bag had no form of ID, and so it was impossible for the officers to deny it. But Glenn again calls the officers and shows them the streak of blood which he noticed on Metropolitan Avenue. The trail extended for about 9 blocks, which is about half a mile, all the way from the duffel bag through the leafy streets right to the side of a $2 million home on Juno Street. A group of police officers entered the house to find blood all over the place. They also found the murder weapon, and a 13-year-old boy, Leo Clean, appearing to have just woken up, said that he lived at the house with his parents while his brother and his dad was away in Oregon. It was just Leo and his mother at home. The officers arrested Leo and took him to the nearest police precinct. This is where Glenn comes into the picture again, as he was already at the present giving his statement. Glenn claimed that Leo was dragged around like a rag doll and he appeared to be in his pajamas, and they did not even let him get his shoes. The officers interrogated Leo without the presence of any adult. After the interrogation, they determined that Leo had no knowledge of the crime and released him into the custody of relatives. The police confirmed the identity of the body in the bag to be a 51-year-old woman named Orsolya Gaal. Leo had learned of his mother's homicide while he was being accused of her murder. She had been stabbed about 60 times on her throat, that had been stabbed once on her torso, neck, and arms, and also defensive wounds on her palm and fingers. This could not be a case of robbery, as it would likely be swift, but 58 stab wounds would indicate that it was an overkill, unlikely to be found in a stranger. It could be a husband, sometimes a child, but Leo wasn't the killer, and other members of the family were out. The officers believed that she entered her home at a little over midnight, and the attacker followed shortly. This is when the crime happened, and by 4:30 a.m., the killer was wheeling Orsolya's body away in Leo's hockey bag. The killer also left a note on the kitchen refrigerator which said, "Find a new handyman." This is where it was revealed that out of the 3 men, one of them was the family's handyman, David Banola. He was a 44-year-old heating and air conditioner repairman and father of 2. From the nature of their text messages, it was clear that they were secretly dating and had turned physical. David also used to leave comments on Orsolya's photos on social media, which made it obvious that something was going on between them. Orsolya ended things between her and David. Now, David is a whole new story. He, the world's notorious for stalking and proposing several Starbucks employees in the area. He was reported several times, but he would simply leave before the police even arrived. From all the investigation, it was obvious that he was an obsessive fantasist and had a serious stalker tendency.